feel lonely at times. Slowly I climb before Devon left. Bro told me it's mine, so it's spite, fuck that opening line.
We live here. Hey, cause this shit finna get deep. That's why I had.
Yeah. He's starting to listen.
It's starting to heat.
Yeah.
So all right. So talk to me about like. Let me tell you how I learned about you. I was having a conversation with Lee, Organized Visuals, right? And
Shout out to Lee.
Shout out to Lee, super creative dude. His show at the Frisk was fire.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying?
Legendary.
But we was talking about, you know what I'm saying, just local music, and I was just telling him like, you know, a couple of my favorite artists, and he brought your name up, and I hadn't heard of you, right? So it was like, this was like mid-pandemic, and so I cut it on, caught their Sun Tapes.
Shout out to Sun Tapes, yeah.
I blazed one first.
Yeah.
And it just so happened to be that music that like, you know, it hits right on time.
Absolutely.
So like, but one of the things that like I think caught, you know, my ear the most was like I could relate to a lot of things you were saying. So like growing up in the Ville, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to be, I call us villains. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be a villain to like understand some of the things you were saying and like, you know, talking about, you know what I'm saying, Quanti Cash and you know what I'm saying, like Ville like Mookie, you know what I'm saying? Like being like it's kinda like that underdog tone, you know what I'm saying? But super like knowledge, you know what I'm saying? So much knowledge in what you were saying. Like I think you got a verse that says trying to build the block, not hug it. Trying to drop the rope, not cut it. Talk to me about that, man. Like, cause I felt that.
Not exactly, you know, shit. On the surface, it means exactly what it means, bro. Like I get like so in the song, like I reference Quanti and I reference Mookie, but more so specifically Quanti, bro, cause some shit'll never like leave my mind. Like it's vivid as fuck. Like he was one of those people, bro, that like he was doing his thing and he had made that movie Loyalty and Respect, bro. And I just remember him putting all of them, a lot of homies in the movie, bro. I just remember him putting the movie together and like putting a lot of homies in there. And for me, that was like, obviously you don't know what a lot of us gonna grow up to be, bro, but that's a seed of inspiration. You feel what I'm saying? So as I got older and I, you know, getting into shit that I wanted to get to, it was always one of the first things on my mind, bro. Like when you get there, and you don't even gotta, you know, whatever there looks like wherever I was, bro. I just realized I could be literally the vessel for that. You feel me? I could literally tap into, you know what I'm saying, somebody's mind, somebody's heart, and like let them know, like, shit, you got enough, we got enough. Everything we need is here. This is a very, very resourceful land. It was always special. Nobody had to tell us that. You feel what I'm saying? Like I seen, like I said, I just witnessed a whole lot of shit growing up here, bro. And I just always felt like it was a special place. I always felt like the dudes I was coming across were special. It was just about avenues and resource. And then, like I said, from my own personal platform, it's like, bro, like, it's community shit, man. Like it ain't nowhere for me to cut no corner about that. Like whether it be music, whether it be like, you know what I'm saying, personal conversation or somebody giving me an opportunity, bro. I think community is heavily important, bro. When you talking about culture, when you talking about building some shit, bro. And again, it don't even have to be about no music or no creative tip, bro. Like to me, sometimes it just don't make sense that community isn't prioritized. Like when we talking about our arts, when we talking about our business, cause like that's the shit that really, really keeps the shit afloat. That's the shit that really will keep it going for real, you know what I mean? Economically, you know what I mean? Taking care of each other. And I just meant that like I got a responsibility cause it's on my heart. That's the shit that keep me up at night. How can you be a real staple in your family, your community? That's what I meant by them lines.
I felt that, man, cause like, you know, seeing so many people you grow up with hold on to the neighborhood, but they're not creating nothing for the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? They're not reaching down and pulling people up and putting them on a platform to make the neighborhood greater. So like 10, 20 years down the line, the neighborhood looks the same. What part of, you know, your block, you know what I'm saying, like your crew, you know, your family, like what part of that you improve along the way? You know what I mean?
Talk, bro. And I think obviously it's a community thing, but I be talking about just shit, as men, as black men, bro, I really think that's a goddamn responsibility we really gotta embrace, no matter what it is we build, bro, because a lot of people did that shit for me growing up, bro. A lot of, and it didn't matter what role they played on the block or at Boys and Girls Club. A lot of some grown ass man or some black man said something to me. You feel me? That was really, really, you know what I'm saying, productive, and I held on to that shit. So I definitely feel like it's real. We gotta keep that shit going. Hell yeah.
Man, speaking about being a strong black man, one thing I can relate in your music that you reference a lot of is being a father.
Real talk.
I got a 3-year-old, you know what I'm saying?
7, man.
And so you know how that is, like,
yeah.
You know, you talked about, man, only thing you want to slow down.
My baby growing up.
Baby growing up. Like,
my baby growing up, man.
It's a different kind of love, man, being a father. But, man, how does that, like, push you just with your career and your music? Like, talk to me about that a little bit.
It's crazy, bro, because, like, the fatherhood aspect is one of those things I was talking about, bro. Like, you know, the music and everything and my drive benefit, bro, but it was all about the soul first, really just tapping in. Like, I had my daughter when I was 21, and at that point, bro, you know, like, shit, you could have dreams, you could have passions, bro, but none of that shit was my priority. My priorities was all over the place.
Yeah.
So immediately you prioritizing a whole nother life, but I just, through all of that, bro, I had to find a deeper sense of connect, like, to my wives, bro. Like, it's one thing to have drive, but, like, what's driving you? You feel what I'm saying? Like, and it couldn't be vicariously through fatherhood. It had to be a real deal connection. It had to, like, I just got to thinking, like, bro, like, she wasn't even 7 yet. I'm like, thinking, like, what is it that you would like to be for her and have for her when she is those ages, when she starts to express what she want to do, when she want to be creative with, you know what I'm saying? She get to form her own personalities. All of that shit go through your head. It's a continuous 24/7 thing, bro. Like, it never leaves your mind, bro. Like, even when you know, when it comes to, like, you know, women or, like, my business decisions or all that shit always plays in the front of my mind, bro, because, like, the world could be turning in all different kind of ways, but she'll always be my priority. I always got to make sure she's protected. I always got to make sure I can provide. I always got to make sure that's good. But not to be long-winded, but to answer the question, bro, it made me prioritize all the honesty that I could in my music, bro. It made me prioritize that. It made me not be afraid because, like, I just kept thinking, like, bro, I would rather her hear my truth if she was to ever spin the block and hear the music. You know, like, the world, yes, I want to affect the world. I want to affect people, but she got to see that I'm 100% in all of this.
100%, bro. True.
Real talk, and it's like I can. There's been times of confusion where it's like I gotta go handle this or whatever and all of that shit, but it always come back tenfold. Like, you know what I'm saying? My daughter, she really do pay attention, and, like, it really do, like, it's strengthening all of it. You know what I mean? All of the noodles.
I'll never forget, man, the day I would drive my daughter to daycare. And it was just one of them things, it was one of them days where I just had a lot on my mind. So I had cut her music on, and, you know, I'm just focusing on thinking. And, like, we were about, 3/4 of the way to daycare, and I looked in the rear view, and, man, I'll never forget the feeling like she was just looking directly at me, though.
Talk.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, snap, like, man, she watching everything I do.
Everything.
Even when you're not paying attention.
They watch everything, bro.
So it's like one thing for me, I was just like, I growing up doing, just having fun, having a young business, like, just, having people, a lot of people look up to you. Like, I've kicked it in a way, to where it's like, there was times where I might not have told 100% truth to women, you know what I'm saying? Just 'cause we were just young and dumb. But, like, when I had her, I was like, man, you know what, like, I think I'm done with that, though, because I got somebody that I know now I got to speak the 100% truth to all the time. Like, I can't never tell her no lies. I can't never sugarcoat something if I know it ain't the 100% real and it resonated in me fully. You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
I think that, especially as black men, like, I think raising young daughters changes us so much for the better, and it just infuses into whatever it is that we're doing, especially when you're being, like, a true, like, dad, you know what I mean?
Facts, bro. Like I said, man, you tap into a whole lot of, you know, sides of yourself, bro, that maybe you ran from or you suppressed, bro, because you got to. You got to break all those barriers down, bro, to be the best father you can be, bro. And even deeper than that, like, I really want to, like, inspire her, bro, to continue being the individual that she is, bro. Like, I want her to be able to see, like, that I wasn't afraid to do that. Like, I don't know, I said in the song, like, Slumdog, where I just, like, how can I tell her to chase my dreams if I never chase mine? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I hold anything as a standard if, you know what I'm saying, if I ain't living that way, bro? So, and I put that shit in the music as much as possible, bro, especially when I'm feeling it, cause like that just kind of immortalizes it. That just kind of keep that going, you feel me? And for any father listening, for any other father listening, like we got real deal responsibilities that we gotta hold true forever. Yeah.
Nah, dope. So let me ask you, so you based in Nashville?
Born and raised, bro, from out east. I grew up in Casey most of my years growing up and shit, but we bounced around out east a lot, out south. Yeah. Probably got stable around high school and shit, but definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does that, like, how does being an artist here, you know, what are the challenges or what are the, you know, the benefits? Like, how do you feel Nashville has contributed, you know what I'm saying, to your progression as an artist?
It's crazy, bro, because like I said, growing up, I felt like I got to get a good look of like what I felt like my local inspiration was. Like, I was hella inspired by the Lidos, Bucks, and Cashes, bro. Like, I was never one of those people, bro, just like looking at what they shit doing, bro, and just like, bro, that shit wasn't cool because they were really doing shit that I was just like, bro, that's tight. Like, you feel me? So I know what my aspirations is and I can't wait to do it in my own way. And then there was like a gap where it was just like, I felt like, obviously when you get older and it's like, oh, okay, you're stepping into it. So right around that time, it was like, man, I felt like what was here or what was going on wasn't enough for what I seen. Like, you know what I mean? So I went through my whole phase of just like, bro, Nashville don't support that it is, you know what I mean? And it wasn't so much about the black creatives, it's just like the city itself, economically, business. They don't feel like they can help, you know what I'm saying, elevate that platform. And then I just got into the mode of just like, bro, like, because I know what's great here in Nashville, because I've heard so many, and because I had, you know, became close peers and friends with a lot of cold ass artists, you know what I'm saying, around Nashville, just like, bro, if Nashville definitely got me in the mode of like, if you don't see something here that we feel like you need, then create it.
Yeah.
Be a part of it, you know what I'm saying? Find where you can find like-minded people who really trying to, cause like I guess complaints about what we don't got and like, you know what I'm saying, all that shit cool, cause we do need voices. Yeah. We do need people to like point that out, but again, bro, it's like, man, you know, when niggas gonna put their hands in the mud, when we gonna build, when you gonna be a pioneer for something, like, you know what I mean? It may not look how I feel like it should look, but I definitely didn't mind, like, you know what I'm saying, because like, again, just how great I feel like the Ville is. Like, somebody else could tell you something completely different. Yeah. But all the shit I see around here, bro, it's always been great. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like I seen shit. Like, even when we was growing up in the projects and shit, bro, I talk about that shit in the music, man. Like, all of that shit just felt like royalty to me. All my niggas felt like they was gifted. Like, they had gifts that I knew about. I wasn't the only person that was like penning raps and talking about writing scripts and books and shit. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot more of us would walk those lanes if we had the resources, if we had the pipelines for real. And we don't. So like, you know what I'm saying, tapping back into the question, shit. Nashville has literally just, you know what I'm saying, made my vision a lot more clearer of what I want for myself and what I want the city to have, what I feel like we deserve. Yeah. So for sure.
That's dope. Man, so same with us, bro. Like, you know, we were coming up in 2010 when we started our first business. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't a whole lot of young black entrepreneurs that was just like, hey man, you need to get in the business, do it for yourself. But like, we had this vision and like this want to be great and like, you know, honestly just to be able to like improve our families and like be the beacon that like, you know, that catapults our families into a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? Like just a whole nother place, you know what I mean? And like, it was on us to become that resource that the next generation like us needs. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there were times where like as we were coming up, you know, and we were like struggling in business. Like we didn't have any peers that were doing the same thing we were doing to lean on, talk to, you know, ask questions and avoid those mistakes. Like we had to take on all of that. And I really think that like sometimes your purpose. I'm not speaking for you. This is for me and my people, like and my business partners. Like I think our purpose is, you know, to be the bridge for the next generation to get to the other side. You know what I mean? Because man, we literally started our business with $3,000. You know what I'm saying? 25 years old, a moving company. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, bro.
And the only reason we started the moving company because we didn't have enough money to start a restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, but what's crazy is the moving industry gave us all the tools that we needed from a knowledge and skill standpoint to carry over. That when we did have the resources, now we could open up a business that people could be proud of, and we knew how to service customers. You know what I'm saying? And like we knew how to like be focused on the product and like not let it slip. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you gotta go through some of the things that don't look so like great on the outside looking in to be able to get to the other side to really be able to serve your purpose.
Not fast, bro.
And I like, you know what I'm saying, the fact that like you're not turned off by, you know, what the perception of Nashville is outside looking in. Like everybody knows, like we went to TSU, you know, even some of my teammates who played football at TSU, even some of my teammates was like, man, before we got here, man, we thought all y'all did was cowboy hats and boots. I'm like, that's the perception. I'm like, I can.
And they still listen.
We can take a ride. You know what I mean? We can take a ride right now.
Real talk.
So like, you know, that was always for me a chip on my shoulder. But like, you gotta see opportunity in that too.
Facts.
When we opened up Slimmer HUSKY'S, man, people had never seen a cool black, like urban, like in your face business like that. You know what I'm saying? To the point to where we were a little doubtful about like how we were gonna present ourselves because we were like our original logo was like tractor and wheat, and we were trying to like not scare folks off. You know what I'm saying? At first, because we was trying to get everybody to come eat, right? Not just black people. We wanted to serve all of Nashville. Yeah. We wanted to put it in the hood because that's what it was needed the most. We wanted to serve everybody. So we covered, like we didn't basically put our face out there first. We wanted them to come on in, then they catch the real, they catch the story, like who we are. Hear the Master P and the UGK and Outkast, and like, so we were like, you know, inviting them in. But like, then we got to a point where it's like, man, we could do this anywhere. We could open this up in Atlanta, Memphis, California. You know what I'm saying? So like, why are we like not putting ourselves in the forefront? If people don't like it, then they don't need to be in anywhere. That's why we changed our logo from the wheat tractor to the three of us, three black dudes. You know what I'm saying, on the face, right? So like, man, I applaud you for, you know what I'm saying, like having that much confidence and that much foresight to know that like, man, Nashville having all this country music isn't a problem. It's just an opening for us to create our own niche to make Nashville even cooler than what it is.
Real talk, like, and I like I said, more than so we deserve that. Like I feel like it's personally alright. Like it go back when you think about what Nashville really rooted in musically, culturally, what we provided to what's worldwide now, where it really started. So like, you know, like depending on what somebody believe in, bro, like this full circle for us, you feel what I'm saying? I just be feeling like in this lifetime, like what my passion and my purpose is, somebody carried that torch before us. Like I said, people doing it now in the present, I just be paying attention. And I can, you know, I've had my doubts and I've had my fears, but like soon as you get over that shit, bro, you realize like, bro, like, you know, walking in your light does something for everybody. Like there's a cause and effect for everybody, bro. And it's like, that's why I be, like you said, that's why I be so headstrong about like my ideas and my visions, bro, because it's like they was tailor-made purposely, like for me. And it's like, I can't be scared to like, to just go back to the music, like something like Sun Tapes, bro. Like it's not really some tradition, you know what I mean? Like there's conscious rap, there's a lot of people dipping in, you know what I'm saying, in the spirituality and shit, but You know what I mean? Sometimes it's very, very different in that right. Especially the raw lyricism, the storytelling, and the shit I'm just tapping into. But to that point, it's like just that's the lane I'd rather carve out. That's the lane I'd rather be a part of, because it ain't so much about like, you know, it ain't so much about everybody liking it. You know what I mean? It really ain't. It really ain't about everybody liking it, bro. Like, it's definitely for who it's meant for, and I always got the aspirations for it to grow bigger, to tap into more people, bro. But I really do believe, like, bro, it's for who is, you know, you a vessel for who it's supposed to be for, bro. And I just keep creating with that same thing in mind, bro.
I've been bumping that Sun tape so hard. If you on some real shit, you know what I'm saying, you like that soulful vibe. If you like me, you like the spark one and like listen to some music's gonna match that, man, Sun tapes, bro, it's.
I appreciate it, bro.
Man, for real.
Appreciate it, man.
So, man, 5 years from now, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want to be? Like, what's the legacy you want to leave for Ron Obasi?
That's a good question, man. I know I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I definitely got a passion for just the multimedia aspect, everything that it is that I can get into that can tell our story, that can tell my story. I definitely believe that 5 years from now I should be well rooted in the community, and there shouldn't be nothing that my community can't ask me for that I can't give them, bro. A community garden, a block full of houses, a store, music, film, somebody writing books. You know what I mean? That's the legacy I want to be part of. Bigger than, like, you know what I'm saying, Ron Obasi. Like, I love the individual aspect that's to that, bro, but I really wanted to be just, what did you leave behind for your community, bro? What did you do for the people that is around? And community can be everywhere, bro. Like, it does not have to just be the Ville. You know what I mean? Like, people all over the world tap into what we got going on. So it's that's what I want my legacy to be, bro. I really want my legacy to be like everything Ron did in this lifetime. People after his lifetime still benefit from, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, I ain't gonna hold you. I know we got this dope ass show to prepare for. Man, listen up, y'all. Nashville has been blessed with several talented individuals from all walks of life, all different types of music. You know what I'm saying? We grew up on Buck, Lido.
Facts. Man,
what I want, not just Nashville, I want the world to know, man, we got this young dude, Ron Obasi, spitting that straight fire. If you ain't on him already, make sure you get on him ASAP. He's gonna perform tonight, Summer Husky's Unplugged, Volume 4, at the Analog. Dope lyricist, super knowledgeable dude, but more so than anything, great father, man. Appreciate you,
bro. Appreciate you, Clint, bro. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Peace.